Hello, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I want to talk to you about raising our vibration. This is a perfect time to talk about this because we are in a unique time in our history, in our lifetimes. It's an epic time, something that no one has ever gone through before. It also fits very neatly into the metaphysical and spiritual realm because this is acting as a reset for all of us, for our world, for us individually, and for us collectively. And actually, the reset very much has to do with our spiritual and metaphysical selves. It's actually a perfect storm in some sense, allowing us to personally reset. So, I want to talk about some of the ways to do that with you. But first, I want to talk a little bit about why, just for a few minutes, about why I am now doing these recordings for you. I have been asked over the years if I could provide my teachings and my talks to folks, and I've done that. I do in-person talks and teachings all the time, but this has been a unique opportunity for me to be able to reach all of you, and I'm doing it because, first of all, I have a message that I want to convey to you. I think it's important, and when you hear this message, it's important to pass it along. It can help others. It's also something that I feel I can do to reduce anxiety. There's a lot of anxiety right now in our world, and anything that anyone can do, I think, that's a positive to reduce that can lower our negative vibration and raise and uplift our positive vibration, and that's some of what I'm going to talk to you about today. So, if you like what you hear on my YouTube videos, please like and subscribe, and please feel free to please share it, pass it along, because it's important that we share this message. So, I don't know how many of you have studied, this concept of vibration. We really have no way of categorizing how we feel as spiritual and metaphysical beings, and how we differ from ordinary folks who are walking around who are not as much tuned in. But one way that many of us refer to this is through our vibration. And by that we mean our energy, the energy that we carry, our ability to connect with higher up dimensions, and our, our ability to tune into consciousness. All of these are part of our vibration. There are things that we can do to raise our vibration, and this is very good. This is something that we all aim for, obviously. Not all of us have time to do it. And in fact, in the very recent past, I would say in the last 10, 15, maybe 20 years, our world has been acting at a very sped up version of itself. People are, have been constantly running, and in that kind of environment, it's not really ideal to raise your vibration. That's a low vibration environment in general. Okay, and what do I mean by low vibration? That means that things that do not favorably impact our consciousness, things that to do with the material world, anger, um, distorted versions of things, things that bring us down, human emotions that are not beneficial, and the ability really not to spend time with our consciousness in a positive way. So that's the backdrop that we enter this crisis from, okay? And, like any crisis, they're a result of a rubber band that's been stretched too tight. And it gets to a point, as everyone knows, if you stretch a rubber band too tight, what happens? It snaps. And and then you're left with what's left, which means that maybe you start over again, and that's where we are, I believe, right now. We're doing a redo or a reset, and it's happening very quickly. All you have to do is go on Facebook or go on any social media and read people's posts about how they're spending their time now and how they feel. Many people are reporting feeling very calm, that they finally feel at peace, that they feel at ease, they feel comfortable. So this is not a coincidence. I don't know about you, but I don't believe that there are any coincidences. Things happen because for a reason or because they're supposed to happen. So I want to talk to you about some ways that we can raise our vibration. And I'm just looking at my notes because I can't remember everything. But we're going through an energetic shift right now, and And our world is changing, and so are we. Each one of us is changing. This has been a long time coming, and it's been way overdue. And because we haven't done the work collectively, the universe is doing the work for us now and reordering things in a good way, ultimately. It may be a few months until we get there, but we are a work in progress. Our Earth is a work in progress, courtesy of the universe. So, um, there's never been another time that's better than this to go deeper. This is an opportunity for all of us, me included, all of us, to go deeper, to go within ourselves, to get in touch with our consciousness. For those who've had difficulty doing this is a great time to do this. This is your opportunity because guess what? People are on lockdown, they're quarantining themselves, they're by themselves, it's quiet, they don't have to be anywhere, they don't have to rush anywhere, they don't have to feel like they have to do 25 things. It's quiet, it's built in, and it's all over the world. And that's the backdrop that's going to allow us to do our work. And guess what? There's something else that's very positive. The work that we need to do is perfect for this setup because in order to raise your vibration, and I spoke about this in an earlier YouTube video on intuition, you need to be quiet to do the work. You cannot do the work if you're in a business meeting and on a phone and doing talking to a million people and thinking of the things that you need to do. It's not going to happen. You cannot do the work. For those of you who've had psychic or mediumship readings in the past, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been to see a psychic or a medium? And when they're reading for you, they're also watching TV or reading the newspaper or listening to radio or dictating something or having other conversations? No, because they have to be quiet. It's you and the medium, and they're quiet and they're focused. And that's what you need to do to raise your vibration and to tap into your consciousness. So, this is an excellent time to do this, and it's being brought to us courtesy of the universe. So, we should thank the universe for this. It's I don't mean to make light of it because it's, also been brought to us through some terrible circumstances. But I believe that there are sometimes divine reasons for things to happen, and if we are being collectively reset, so that as a planet, our consciousness is raised to a higher dimension, this may be one of the reasons why. So, how do we raise our vibration? Well, um, we need, as I mentioned, we need quiet time for this, and we have that now. So, what are the types of activities? Well, they all perfectly dovetail with having a quiet time. So, one thing that I noticed, I've been walking for years. I don't know how many of you are walkers, but I've been walking for many years. And where I live, I seldom see walkers. Every once in a while, I'll see a few, but it's generally pretty quiet. Well, since this uh, virus has started up and impacted people's lives, and they have to be at home. They take time during the day to get out. It's a great stress reliever, and it's important to get out in nature. So I see people walking now all the time, and there are many, many people out there walking. And you know what? This is a great thing because it's quiet. It allows you to get into your body. Oftentimes, people aren't thinking of anything else when they're walking, especially if they're walking by themselves. And walking is a natural earth-based activity, and anything that is earth-based tends to have a high vibration because the earth is pure and natural, except for what we've done to it. But generally, the earth is pure, and if you can connect to that energy, the earth energy, that's a wonderful thing to do, and it transfers into you, into your being, and raises your vibration. Now, when you walk, I want you to walk on the earth if possible. Don't walk on concrete. I mean, for many of us, that's the only option. But if you have a chance to walk on a path, a hiking path in the woods or something like that, even better. That's great. That will raise your vibration. Walking raises your vibration, as does any natural activity. So, what are some other natural activities? Well, of course, meditation. Everybody hears about meditation and mindfulness. Mindfulness has become the antidote for everything. I'm not sure I agree with that, and not everybody practices mindfulness, but it sounds great anyway. So, But meditation and mindfulness, clearly that's the universal message. And if you can do it, great. If you can't, I have other options for you. So here's some other options. So something else you can do is work with the earth. I mean, on my walks, I've noticed so many people gardening now. I feel like I'm in the 1950s because people are out and they're gardening and they're walking and they're participating in their community, even if they can't talk to someone, it has to be within 6 feet, but at least they're forming a community in some way and in a positive way. Working with the earth is another high vibration activity because remember, I mentioned that the earth is high vibration. It's natural. It hasn't been squandered. Well, it hasn't been affected by some of the other things that we'll talk about later. So working with the earth, gardening, anything like that is great. Decluttering your space. Now, why would that be a high vibration activity? Because you're going to get rid of the objects that are low vibration, things that you don't use anymore, or things that maybe you used and didn't need, um, were not involved with you in a positive way, don't carry your high vibration energy, get rid of them. And how many people are doing that right now? A lot, because they're at home and this is an activity that they feel compelled to do. And why do they feel compelled? Well, maybe, they're getting a message from elsewhere, or maybe they're just bored, or both. But decluttering so that you get down to the objects that are essential, that carry high vibration themselves. Great, your surroundings are important to us. They transmit their energy into us. Everything contains energy. My computer here contains energy. This wall behind me contains energy. My cell phone contains energy. Every material object contains energy, and you want to be surrounded by those objects that contain a high form of energy. So if you can declutter and get rid of those whose energy is low, fantastic. That's another activity that you can do. Um, be conscious of the food you eat right now. A lot of people over the years have built impressive houses and have wonderful kitchens that they never use because they go out to dinner all the time. Well, now's a chance to use your kitchen and to make some food that's nutritious for your mind and for your body. And again, if you can use natural ingredients or organic ingredients, all the better. You're putting your energy into the food though when you prepare it, and that's another high vibration activity that you can engage in. Some other activities. So we also want to, in terms of our personal behavior, we want to do things like practice acts of kindness. You see this going on right now where people are volunteering to help other people who can't get groceries or need help in some way. This is wonderful. Wonderful, to practice kindness and compassion and help our fellow human beings right now. Another high vibration activity. You'll see all these things have something in common. What is that? They get to our core, the core of ourselves, our souls, and our consciousness. And those are pure and those are high vibration. So anything that focuses on that, and stays away from anything material, things that are, those glittery objects in our world, those shiny objects that many people think they need but don't really need. This gets down to you and your inner core. Other activities that you can do. So be conscious of your thoughts. I'm going to do another YouTube video on this because our thoughts are reality. So we want to be careful about what we think and always project to the extent that we can positive thoughts because that creates our reality. We'll talk more about that in another video. Some other things that you can do. So reading, writing. Again, these are ways to get in touch with your inner self. These are beautiful things that we can do. For those of you who've always wanted to write a book, maybe this is the time to do it. If not, maybe you can journal. So all of those are high vibration activities. They're all coming straight from your soul. Hopefully these are a way to get in touch with your inner being and with your consciousness, and that ultimately raises your vibration. Listening to music, quiet music, I would say, organic, holistic kinds of music. So If you can keep that on in the background while you're doing any of these things, that's great. Some of you who have difficulty meditating may want to put on music in the background that has binaural beats in it. For those of you who are not sure what binaural beats are, those are uh, a type of frequency that goes into our brain, and our brain reads it as a meditative state. So you could put that music on in the background if you have it. Your brain will still recognize it as a meditative state, even if you don't go into a deep form of meditation. Um, so a few other things. We can work with essential oils. Again, those are pure and byproducts of the earth. So, of course, those would be high vibration as well. Um, any acts of kindness, as I mentioned, are great. So also keeping in touch with your friends and your loved ones, keeping that chain of love going is a great thing. That's sort of like an IV of love. So keep doing that as well. All of these will raise your vibration. They're all going to be done in a relatively quiet space, which you need to raise your vibration. And the object here, the goal here, is to raise your vibration so that you're a more evolved human being. So perhaps you're not uh, focused so much on the material. And, I really believe, and I don't want to offend anybody, but I believe that we're going from a period of self indulgence to self reflection. So, and self indulgence, many people have pursued lots of things that they hope will make them happy. So it's been self indulgence through material things, and then they find out that that didn't make them happy. So now we're going to find some things that make us happy, right? Because we are evolving into conscious human beings. And that's great for us, productive for our earth, productive for the universe. It's just the best thing that we could hope for. So, um, in wrapping up, I think I want to say that we want to support as many people as possible. And so if you like these videos, please listen and subscribe. And reaching more people is important right now, so please share these videos, pass them along. It's important to reach as many people as possible so they get the message. So I want to thank you all for listening. There'll be more YouTube videos coming, probably every few days for the time being. I have many messages for you, many things that I want to share with you, and I thank you for listening and for sharing. If you have any questions, please email me or leave your comments at the bottom of the video, and we'll answer your questions in the next videos. So thank you very much, and namaste.